Someone is getting stronger, sharper, and more disciplined while you're waiting to feel ready.
I don't believe in hope. Hope is a beggar. Hope walks through the fire and faith leaps over it.
Look at you. You're comfortable, aren't you? Warm bed, food on your plate, screen in your face, everything easy. And that's exactly why you're dying inside. Comfort is a poison. It makes you weak. It steals your hunger. Every time you hit snooze, it claps. Every time you skip the gym, it celebrates. It's time to get uncomfortable again. Get cold, get hungry, get moving. The fire inside you is still there, but you've got to suffer to reignite that flame. Comfort is a cage, but pain is freedom. So suffer and rise.
Wow. Yeah. I don't care how good you are in anything, you don't have discipline, you ain't nobody.
Right.
I believe that self-discipline is the definition of self-love.
Gazelle, I don't need something external to motivate me. I find something within.
For me, it was just common sense. Like I can if I start earlier, I can train more hours. And I know the other guys aren't doing it because I know what their training schedule is. Right? So I know if I do this consistently over time, the gap's just going to widen and widen and widen and widen and widen, and they won't be able to get that back. Mm-hmm. So to me, it was just common sense. I'm like thinking, how can I get an advantage? Oh, start earlier. Yeah, let's do that.
How do you develop that, or where do you learn that from?
Well, I think it's just it's just a matter of what's important to you, mm-hmm. and what's important to you for whatever reason. I felt like I didn't feel good about myself if I wasn't doing everything I could to be the best version of myself. Mm-hmm. If I felt like I left anything on the table, it would eat away at me. I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror. And so the reason why I can retire now and be completely comfortable about it, because I know that I've done everything I could to be the best basketball player I could be. And so that's where it comes from for me.
Men are always quick to say, I'd die for my family. Sure, okay. But would you exercise for them? Would you eat healthy for them? Would you sleep early and rise early for them? Would you chase your dreams for them? Would you quit your bad habits for them? In other words, would you live for them?
Maybe it's my fault that you didn't see that failure gave me strength, that my pain was my motivation.
We already know what to do when our prayers get answered. But the question that I have for you, and it's rhetorical, what will you do when God says no?
This 1 year, my father had his shop, and he decided for whatever reason that he wanted a new wall on the front of his shop. So he tore down probably about 16 feet high and probably about 30 feet long. He just completely tore the wall down, and my brother and I had to dig a 6-foot hole. We
for the foundation.
For the foundation. Right. We would mix in the concrete by hand. A year and a half. We were building this wall for a year and a half. Every day after school, we were coming, mixing concrete, putting it in the hole, doing it. And it was just myself and my little brother. And I remember standing back, looking at that wall saying, there's going to be a hole here forever. A year and a half later, we laid the final brick. And my father stood back with my brother and I know he planned this. He says he didn't, but I know he had been planning this and writing this for his for the past 2 years. But we stood back, we looked at the wall, and he looked at me and my brother and said, "Don't y'all never tell me that you can't do something." And walked into the shop.
I stand before you without arms and legs, but a very strong man because of the bad days of my life.
Mommy will never be this broke or broken again.
For you to constantly win. When this voice over here, the real you, is saying, get the fuck out of here. Go. You're nobody. You've always been nobody. And it's true. People don't hear that. That's a true voice. It's not a false reality. And then you had to create another voice over here that is saying you're better than that other voice. And you're in the freezing cold water that both voices don't want to fucking be in. But you win. And it goes from the water to the studying, to the running, to the losing weight, to how you eat, to how you function as a man. Every day of your life, you're winning these battles. And then I have normal people who only have one voice. Never created the second voice. The winning voice is the second voice. They have one voice. And that's just, I'm a piece of shit. That's all they hear. And then they judge people like me who are out here trying to be better.
I've always figured out that there's 24 hours a day. You sleep 6 hours. They have 18 hours left. Now, I know there's some of you out there now and says, well, wait a minute, I sleep 8 hours or 9 hours. Well, then just sleep faster, I would recommend. Just remember, you can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in the pocket.
I have no desire to fit in, no plans to walk with the crowd. I have my own mind, heart, and soul. I'm a gym rat, and it has taken me years to realize just how important that is to me. I lift in silence, for I have learned that not everyone in the gym can understand the freedom within the iron solitude.
You know, so when the game's on the line, I'm not asking myself to do something that I haven't done thousands of times before.
Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
The night they lost to Orlando, I said, Michael, you know, I'm about to get out of here. Let me know when you want me to see you, because I'll see you tomorrow. Michael had an obligation to himself, the fans, his teammates, the organization, his family, everybody. He said, if you're gonna sit down and take 3 hours out of your day to watch me on TV, I have an obligation to give you my best. To give you my best all the time.
They say, well, I don't know what to do. It's like, that's okay. Nobody does. Go do something. Do the best thing that you can think of. Put the best plan you have into practice. It's not going to be perfect, and it will change along the way. But it will change partly because you become disciplined pursuing the path. And as you become disciplined, you become wiser. And as you become wiser, you become able to formulate better and better plans. So you can start vaguely and confused and develop a plan that's not so great, and you start to implement it, and then you accrue incremental wisdom as you implement your flawed plan, and that enables you to fix the plan. And so that's part of that process of incremental self-improvement as well.
Champ, we don't rise to the standards we have when others are watching. We fall to the standards we have when no one is watching.
The center of bringing any dream into fruition is self-discipline.
So we're driving to the race. I said, hey, Mom, my mom's going to walk it. I said, I'm going to walk it with you. My ex-wife, I said, you can go ahead and take off, do your thing, run your race. I'm going to walk my mom. That gun went off, and something fucking happened. I took off. I was like, what? I took up like a jackrabbit. Gone. I was like, what the hell? So I was thinking the whole time, I was like, man, I just ran 100 miles like 3 weeks ago, like first time ever. I was peeing blood and pissing shit on myself. I go, my body's broken. My Achilles and my tendons and my feet are broken. I go, what is this? And every time I started running further and further, I go, okay, I got to the 10K. I'm on Boston Marathon time. Because I knew the Boston Marathon was like 3:10:59 for my age. I'm like, you know, I was like, and then I started using all this external shit for motivation. Like, okay, who the fuck can go out here and run 100 miles, no training? Then I'm broken. Most broken I've been in my life. And now I'm running a marathon. Who could do it? So I started just feeding myself. I get to half the mile. I'm about 30 seconds off the pace. I said, hang on, man, you're Goggins. You can do this shit, man. And I started just feeding myself. You can do this. Before I knew it, man, I got to like last 6 miles, and I was off the pace, and I just kicked it. And next thing I knew, I did like a 3:08 and change. I was like, and I was like, what the fuck? What have I been leaving on the table?
Right.
I've been leaving so much on the fucking table.
If you lack the discipline to work hard, save your money, you will end up a slave to finances.
Every single set that I do, every repetition, every weight that I lift will get me a step closer to turn this goal into reality.
Truth is, motivation is fleeting, but habits and systems are what build champions.
Now, a lot of times you stand on the cliff of life and you see other people soaring by.
gliding down like a bird flying through the air. You know, they going over to the south of France. You see them on a boat somewhere. You see their family vacationing here, their family vacationing there. You see them dressing like this. You see them in New York, then you see them in London. They flying by. You know why? It's because their parachute open. But the only way to get your parachute to open so you can soar, you got to jump.
Strongman isn't just muscles and confidence. It's control, discipline, and the will to train no matter how tough life gets. He doesn't fold under pressure. He embraces the pain. He doesn't seek validation. His aura speaks louder than his words. A strong man shows up for others, but never forgets to show up for himself. He has an ego, but he doesn't let it control him. Instead, he uses it as fuel to power his dreams. He stays calm in the chaos and keeps moving forward, even when his heart is tired. A strong man owns his mistakes, learns, adapts, and never backs down from a challenge. He's been through unspeakable pain, humiliating failures, and countless rejections, yet it has only sharpened his spirit. Because a strong man isn't perfect, but he is relentless, and he believes in himself.
He said, I don't count my sit-ups, I only start counting when it starts hurting. When I feel pain, that's when I start counting, because that's when it really counts. That's what makes you a champion.
You call mama. I dare you to take a little pain.
I grew up inner city Atlanta in this environment that I scraped, I clawed, had a lot of great people help me get out of, make it to college, get to college, play football, start doing very well. Things are looking up for me. My career ends, and I find myself back in the very community that I grew up in, 2 blocks away from where I grew up, with $250 in my pocket at my wife's grandmother's home. And my wife was pregnant, about to have our first daughter. And it was in that moment that I realized I had no control over my life.
So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
When the obstacle gets in front of you, don't let it stop you. Don't let it deter you. Navigate around that motherfucker.
Please, don't even bother asking. Don't bother telling the world you are ready. Show it. Do it.
My father could have been a great comedian, but he didn't believe that that was possible for him. And so he made a conservative choice. Instead, he got a safe job as an accountant. And when I was 12 years old, he was let go from that safe job. And our family had to do whatever we could to survive. I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
You will never see a U-Haul behind a hearse.
What we do in life, we do in life. Echoes in eternity.
Rule. Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient.
You don't have to change what's outside. All you've got to change is what's inside. To have more, you simply have to become more.
Gym is not just for muscles. It's therapy for men who have no one to talk to. Go lift. You'll feel better.